So we got some big news in Kentucky. Kentucky is officially banning therapy for LGBTQ plus youth. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on in these streets.
My faith teaches me that all children are children of God. And where practices are endangering and even harming those children, we must act.
Today, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear made the sweeping effort to stop conversion therapy on kids in the state. But what does his executive order actually do? Conversion therapy is the practice of attempting to change a person's sexual orientation by using psychoanalysis and other methods. It's a widely discredited practice, but to truly make it illegal, the state legislature would have to act. Isaiah Kim Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton explain what this order means for Kentuckians.
A sweeping move many years in the making. Governor Andy Beshear signing an executive order he hopes will put a stop to conversion therapy on people under 18 years old in Kentucky.
It is a practice that is causing them to take their own lives. That means it's something we should not do and cannot allow to happen.
Legislation has been filed. It's been rejected by the people's representatives.
But the signing in the Capitol Rotunda didn't come without opposition, mixed in with cheers. Sitting in the audience watching an emotional Dustin Rayburn of Louisville, who went through conversion therapy when they were younger. Was there something, was there someone you were thinking about?
I was just thinking that this isn't going to happen anymore. Like, this is the first step to protect our youth, and if I could just go back and tell my younger self that, we'd be sitting here today. Yes. This would stop. It's just a crazy full circle moment.
The Trevor Project.
You see, that's the part that a lot of people don't like to talk about, man. That's the part that a lot of people don't like to talk about. When these kids are not there all the way mentally, they're getting therapy from these doctors that think that they know what they're talking about, and getting all these thoughts in their head that they might be a different gender, and they want to go, talk to somebody about it, and they get manipulated into pretty much mutilating their bodies as young kids. They get talked into doing it, and then when they grow up, they realize that, maybe I'm not this. Maybe I shouldn't have been doing this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that to my body. And by then it's too late. Now, if you're 18, you're a grown adult, you choose to do whatever you want with your body, cool, I get it. Makes sense. You do you, boo-boo. You do you. But for a kid to do that, the parent should have consent. Parents should know about it. The parent should be involved in it. And the parent should have the last word until that kid is 18. Listen, y'all, you can't even buy a pack of cigarettes until you're 18. And they got people out here doing life-changing surgeries on kids. I think that's just human cruelty, to be honest with you. That's human abuse. That's child abuse. Let the kids grow up. If they still feel the way that they feel when they're adults, they can make that decision because they're adults. But for a kid making this decision, I absolutely agree with the governor of Kentucky. Let's continue.
Project, a suicide prevention nonprofit, reports 1 out of 5 kids in Kentucky are exposed to the widely discredited practice.
We're the lawmaking body. He is not. We make laws.
Beshear's executive order is not a ban on conversion therapy. Rather, it directs state agencies to pull funding and potentially suspend or revoke licenses from therapists reported to be practicing it. Only the state legislature, including Kentucky lawmakers like Republican Representative Josh Callaway, can pass a bill to make it illegal.
Is there a free speech issue with this? Affirmation is one thing that they say that we need to be doing. on the other side, helping kids that are confused.
We're told the governor's team has been working on this very initiative for years, and it comes in that same time period where we've seen countless bills to do this very thing, ban conversion therapy for minors, see no movement. This is not an issue strictly along party lines.
A majority of Republicans do support banning conversion therapy.
We've counted 11 Kentucky House Republicans since 2020 at least co-sponsor a bill to make conversion therapy on kids illegal. That includes Representative Killian Timoney, who shook Beshear's hand and told him thank you after the news conference.
The results show that it does increase suicidal ideation. And that's something that we cannot have.
The people that we really want to remember are the ones who couldn't be here today.
In a joint statement sent by a dozen Kentucky Republican senators, including Senate President Robert Stivers, they said, quote, "This executive order disregards the First Amendment rights regarding freedom of religion and speech and violates the fundamental parental rights and responsibilities for their children." Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11, on your side.
You know, like I said, man, I disagree with that. I don't think that they're stopping them from having the surgeries. But for them to manipulate young kids into believing, it's one thing if a kid is confused, right? And you bring them to a therapist and they talk about their situation over and over again until they become an adult, that they can actually make that decision for themselves. You know, it's one thing when you do it like that, but it's another thing when you're doing it as a 4 or 5-year-old kid, and you got a 4 or 5-year-old kid that has two parents, but he's going or she's going to a therapist to tell them that they want to be a different gender, not knowing what the future is holding for them, not knowing what their situation is going to be like when they're older. And a lot of people regret it. A lot of these young kids that go through this, they regret it. And there's more stories than not about that. And you know, this is no hate, this is no slap to the LGBTQ community. It's not taking away the rights of anybody. This is simply just setting the standard, just like cigarettes, just like drinking alcohol, just like doing whatever you want to do. Having what is it called? Implants. You can't get implants as a kid. Like that's not okay. That's against the law. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. But let's finish off this video, see what else they got to say.
Governor Beshear's executive order is now in effect. U of L constitutional law professor Sam Markinson tells us the order effectively avoids any wrongdoing, any wording that would open it up for a legal challenge. Well, across the river, banning conversion therapy is banned. The legislature passed a bill in 2023 making it illegal to regulate behavioral health programs that are licensed in the state. So no regulations on social work, mental health counseling services, and more if they are properly licensed. Now, this gives the state no avenue to ban conversion therapy. According to the Williams Institute at UCLA, gay people who've been through conversion therapy are twice as likely to think about or attempt to end their own life. 7% of the lesbian and gay community surveyed experience conversion therapy, but this legislation, both in Kentucky and Indiana, applies to licensed therapy services. 4 out of 5 people who go through conversion therapy received it from religious leaders.
Big thing that's going on in Kentucky. Big movement that he did. Big bill that he signed. And again, I'm all for it. I know you guys, some of y'all might disagree with it. Cool. I don't really care. But if I had the choice to agree with this bill or not agree with it, I would agree with this bill. Just because I think that kids should not be making that type of decision for themselves. like it's unnecessary. Make that decision as an adult. You can have the conversation. You can have the therapy. You can talk about your situation. Obviously, nobody's trying to stop you from feeling how you're feeling. But to go down that rabbit hole of actually making this thing permanent as a kid, no, I completely agree with them. Let me know y'all thoughts about this down below in the comments. It's a very controversial topic, so I understand if you guys don't want to say nothing. But for y'all that have the guts to say what y'all want to say, let me see them comments down below, man. It's your boy Dgotsauce. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on y'all way out. And until next time, man. Peace.